Hi, it's James Rosowsky from Built Prefab in Kelowna, British Columbia. We design, manufacture, and install premium prefab modular homes. This is a video to help you get to know one of our models called the Mountain. And just so you know, we're a full service company and we focus on premium single family and multifamily buildings. We strive to design and build homes that are high quality, sustainable, healthy, and durable. So, um, that's a bit about us, and what we're going to do is a full-on 3D tour of one of the homes, the largest of our homes. And this unit can be found in our 2020 Design Catalogue right at the start of it. So there it is, the Mountain, 3,280 square feet, and we're just going to take you through the whole building. So here we're looking at Built World 2020, which is our whole line of homes in a little world, which allows us to give you some perspective on what the units look like from the inside and the outside, and to tour you through them. So let's just zoom on into the Mountain. Yeah, so like I said, this is a big house. It's only 4 modules, but it's 3,280 square feet, 2 stories tall, and it has some terrific features. We'll just do a little cruise around the outside. But it's only 32 feet wide, which is neat because it is a huge house, but it could fit on, a lot of lots at that width. Yeah, and so to get to know it, I think one of the easiest places to start is at actually the floor plan. So let's just look here. Now here's what we're going to do. Look at the first floor plan. So entry door, big one, 4-footer. Big entry area. We've got a bench with hooks. You've got your half bath, pantry, kitchen, dining. We look at the living room, staircase. There's a storage room here, some mechanical. There's a big closet in this big entertainment area. It's got a TV in it and stuff, so you could do a lot with that room. And then if you headed up the stairs, we're into sort of more sleeping area. This is a flex space designed right now, but it could be turned into a bedroom. You got your master bed, walk-in closet, a huge master bath, laundry room, and then 2 more bedrooms and even a 4th one right there. It's a little smaller and shown as an office, but there's a bath there. And just to back up a second, if you're going to design a home with us, this is really where we would start, is at the floor plan. So what we suggest you do is you find a floor plan you like, and then what we'll do is sort of work through it to make sure that it meets your requirements and tweak it so that it's going to be suitable for your property and for your lifestyle. So that's step one, and I guess we're here today assuming that you've chosen this one as your favorite. So we move on from the floor plan there and look at this sort of cutaway. And the entry's nice and big. We've got a nice closet there. You can see the bathroom, pantry. Yeah, just moving through it, but gives you a little bit better perspective. There's some mechanical stuff in that room. And then, of course, that entertainment area, TV's even on. So, we take you up a floor. Let's just see here to the 2nd floor cutaway. Up the stairs you come. You've got your area there, flex space. Move into the master bedroom, walk-in closet, bath, laundry, bedroom. On and on you go. So. These cutaways are found in the design catalog as well as the model guide for this unit, and you can get a better perspective. Obviously, you can't move it around like I'm doing, but if you came down to our office or even on the phone, we could do a virtual tour of this unit just like this. So, just talking more about the floor plan, when you're doing a design with us, everything's done in 3D. So we would be doing exactly this kind of work. And what we'll do now is go inside the house. Oops, I don't know where I went with that. Give me a sec. Yeah, so I'm going to move back to the entry door. Oh, there's my SUV, I guess. And yeah. So right now we're showing a 48-inch full light door, and obviously this could be changed. And also you're going to notice, like when you come in, you can see right through to the end of the house. This could be changed and maybe moved over here so you can't see all the way in. It's really your call, but we like this configuration because it comes right in on this wall on the right. Yeah, so when you walk in, you're looking, here's your half bath. You got your big closet, and then you sort of just see down this little tunnel, but you know, can't see a whole lot. Obviously a little bit of the kitchen and some of the living room. As you see inside, there's right on the right hand side here, there's a bench with some hooks, and then we can just kind of slide in here, and like one of the first things you see is this huge staircase, and we think it's an awesome feature. We've done, you know, sort of a dual stringer with floating treads. We have an alternate option with a spindled stair that we could show you, and even if you were looking for something more you know, a little bit more aggressive, I guess, which would be the single stringer staircase with floating treads, we could do that. It's all a matter of preference and budget. Oh, just on the left here is a barn door that leads you into the pantry, and then you would come inside, and here you got your living room on the right and your kitchen on the left. So right here, I guess just before we move on, we're showing the Regency gas fireplace that you would find in the model guide. And I'm going to just shoot us over to another unit where we could look at the alternative fireplace. So just in the in this one called the East Bay, we've got the wood burning stove, which is, you know, your other option. So if you want gas, we've got gas, but if you want wood burning stove, throw it on a nice piece of quartz like we show there, and light the fire. So on back to the mountain, and I'm just going to pierce right through the wall back into the living room. But you know, this is sort of the idea of what you'd be seeing inside the house, and a lot of space. Obviously it's a bigger home. And then we've got our dining room there, and that's table for 8 actually. So our island's even quite large. I think that's like a 9.5 foot long island, and then this is the biggest kitchen that we have in our standard line, and we can definitely, or we're going to, review the kitchens in a little bit more depth as we go along through this presentation. So yeah, that's our main floor. There is one other room in there which we can just zip into here from the side of the building, and that's the entertainment area. Got a lot of clipping going on, but you get the idea. So it's a fairly big room, and you can see the exact dimensions of the floor plans. But I mean, there's a big closet there. We could turn this into a wet bar or something if that's appealing to you. But anyhow, it's quite a large room. So the next thing we would do is kind of take this staircase and just cruise up through the roof. So yeah, up the stairs you end up in this this sort of open area. Got a chair here, but it's kind of like a den or a flex area. You could have a library or something. And this door at the end is the magic door, which takes you into the master quarters, I guess you would call them. So first thing is big master bedroom. There we go. Beautiful. And great windows. We could probably chuck in a couple other windows, and we'll talk about that later. But, you know, you got a deck with a topless glass railing, and that's it. Have your breakfast right there in the morning. Or a coffee. I mean, that's just pure, and great views from wherever you might be. If you back through it, there's a walk-in closet just to your left, and then of course right backing up some more, you get into the full master bath here with the freestanding tub. So it's hard to have a perspective in here. It's a little tight with the camera, but we're gonna have another view at all the bathrooms in a bit, in a much easier fashion. So yeah, like back into this hall, as you could see in the cutaway through this door is the laundry room, and I'll definitely talk more about laundry in a bit. And then the next room to that was the other bed facing out, and then over in this area through the hall, you know, there's a bedroom here which we show as an office, bath, and then of course the last bedroom. So that's a tour of the house. And what we're going to do next is really review some of the features and even I guess a bit of the buying process. Now I'm just going to try and let me just see some. There it is. It's right behind. Just moving some screens here. So yeah, what we're going to do is basically go through what would be in the buyer's guide as your buying process on a home like this and how it would get designed. So, I mean, essentially, we'd be talking rough numbers at this point, looking at the regular floor plan. But, at this stage, after you've picked a floor plan and we've kind of tweaked it, then what we'd be doing is just moving into some of the details. And this presentation will do that, just like all the other units. And so, after your floor plan is done, the next real sort of major thing to talk about is energy performance. And the reason is all the homes that we've drawn and the floor plans and everything are showing an 8-inch wall approximately. And so that wall is detailed with drywall, air barrier, 2x6 framing, plywood sheathing. We've got our wrap and then a rain screen set up with our exterior. And of course, our 28 Roxol in the wall. So this is good. I mean, this is a great detail because it is generally going to exceed the building code requirements anywhere, along with the roof detail that we do. And, will meet a lot of people's requirements. But of course, if energy performance is a priority, then, we'd be moving into this secondary detail that we've got, which is, it's essentially the same where you go drywall, air barrier, 2x6 framing, plywood sheathing. But then what ends up going on is you still have your Roxol R28, but then you add 2 inches of rigid foam insulation. So taking on the outside of the insulation, now we're talking rain screen and your exterior material. You're into the R40 zone here with that type of detail. Additionally, the reason why we'd be talking about this at an early stage of the design is that this option 1 is sort of like around 8 inches thick, but option 2 ends up being about 10 inches thick. So what we need to do is make sure that the design still works. Everything's sort of designed around how much floor space you have. So this 2 inches of wall, because we're dealing with modular, can in many cases take a little bit of floor space up. Not a ton, but enough that you need to put it into consideration when you're designing your millwork, your doors, everything. So that's why we do it as step number 2. Step 1. Let's do your floor plan. Step 2, let's talk about, this detail. So, and of course, like when we're talking about energy performance, the wall detail is one part of it, but we'll be talking about, the rest of the envelope, mechanical, windows, just even shading and things like that, just to make sure that we're capturing what you want and that at the end of it all, you're going to have a house that performs sort of to the level you're hoping. So after we've talked about energy performance, then we can start talking about major components. And, the first one we do is kitchens. It's a great thing. So yeah, we have some standard kitchens we put together, and in the drawing and in that little tour I just did, you see, the big kitchen. Actually, why don't we just take it right to there? This kitchen here, it's just a big boy. And I guess, roughly, look at that, 17 feet, 17 feet, and, almost 10 feet down that side. It's a pretty big kitchen, and this island's 9.5 feet large. So, I mean, we're showing Frigidaire Professional appliances, full-size freezer, full-size fridge, 36-inch cooktop, which could be gas, electrical, or induction. Got a 30-inch sink. It's the Blanco Quattros, and showing your Aquabras faucet, as well as wall oven, and then this matching microwave with a pull-down door. It's a sweet setup, and it's very large. And obviously, with every bathroom, with every kitchen, we're going to tweak it and modify it to meet your needs. So we can do exposed shelving, or full height cabinets and other things. We would really talk through your design and figure out what you want. There's your dishwasher in that island as well. But that's kind of like one configuration, and then here's a smaller one where we're looking at a 36-inch fridge, same type of sink. Oh, selected that for no good reason. And then a 30-inch cooktop, but there's the wall oven, and of course we have the option as well in the Frigidaire Professional line to do the double wall oven, and then put the microwave somewhere else. So it's fairly flexible. And we would work through it. And even in this design of the mountain, as you remember, right behind this wall was a pantry. So maybe there's an opportunity or an interest in doing like a butler-style pantry, or having something else in there. But, in the design, we'll definitely work through this and choose your millwork selections and finishes and everything. So, we've done floor plan, energy performance, kitchen, and then what we would do next is move on to the bathrooms. And we have a bunch of standard bathrooms with all of our, our standard fixtures. So, aqua brass sink and faucet and the accessories. And then this is the single vanity, which you probably wouldn't put in this building, but I'm showing it to you anyway because it will only take 5 seconds. But you can do single vanity with a tub. You can do single vanity with a shower, basically identical setup. Kuroma dual flush toilet, and we still offer the option to do a wall hung toilet. Just ask us about it if that's a priority for you. And then these are the more standard baths that we would see in this unit because it's a larger unit. So dual vanity, dual flush toilet, and you can have tub with shower. And the other option would be to just go with the straight shower like this. And we're showing the linear drain and all the same stuff, aqua brass finishes, and then the Cusco light, which we'll talk about in a short amount of time. So that's the sort of the main bath structure, and then there's your half bath that we've got right in the entry, just a toilet and some hangers, and we can detail this, and obviously you get to select your countertops, millwork, and tile from the options we've got. And then the other bathroom, of course, in this home is this one, which is your master, and we're showing a double vanity shower, toilet, freestanding tub with a floor mount faucet. And we would work through this and make sure that it meets your sort of expectations, and that when you're laying in the shower, you're just more thrilled than anything to have bought yourself a brand new prefab home. So once we get through all the bathrooms, it's we move on to some of the other details. Like in fact, the next one would be closets, and in all the regular bedrooms and even in the entry and everything, the main closet type we'll show is something like this, which is sliding doors with flush pulls. They're like 2x4 inch flush pulls. We've got a rod with a shelf, which is just like the standard sort of design that we do. Sometimes, if you want, we could do bifold doors and other things like that. But pretty much that's the standard closet. Of course, your secondary option is to change and go with the built-in millwork. And so, here's an example of a 5-foot built-in wardrobe. And it's really cool because it definitely takes up less space, and then it just says like this house was custom made for me. But in fact, it's not that hard to do this; just costs money, and we would design it to match all the other millwork in the house. So it's a great statement. So after we finished with your closets and millwork, we just move on to laundry. Pardon me. And when we look here, in this house, the mountain particularly, we have like the full size 10 and a half foot, I guess, laundry room. Now, We can configure it to be smaller or different or bigger, whatever you like. It's just a matter of working through it. Not a big deal. There's a smaller one, and even like you can get into these types with the laundry center, but I'm not sure they'd be really appropriate for a home of this size. But just this is more to let you see that this is done. We've got these details kind of in a starting point, so that your design has somewhere to go when you're ready. So yeah, I guess the next thing we would talk about is the windows and doors after we get through laundry. And so, at this stage, we've already talked about floor plan, energy performance, kitchens, baths, closets, millwork, did the laundry. We'd probably be talking about flooring as well. But here we go. And, lighting. I'm just going to go, probably even fine to go here. So we have a bunch of standard lights. Most of the lights we use are from Cusco, a Canadian company. And these are the Cusco Nordic lights. They were actually nice enough to give us the actual models. So in some of the designs here, we tried to put together like the exact details for the sink and Blanco, we were able to get the sink, but the faucet and the appliances, they're, as close as we could make them to the actual ones. But in the case of Cusco, they were kind enough to provide us with actual 3D assets that we know those are the ones. So the Cusco Nordic is a downlight, and it has the option of coming in gray or this black, and we just showed it in black in all the units, but we would work through that in the design. There's their Cusco tube pendant right here that we show in the units. I'm just going to change the view. Maybe this will be better to get inside. And we're showing 3 over the table, but we could go 4. We could go with something else. So it's going to be part of the discussion. And then, of course, showing the Cusco chute linear pendant right there over the island. And while we're here, hey, let's look in here. Like that's what you'd see if you were washing a couple dishes. Families in here, people going up the stairs. Your dining room is right there. It's just quite a nice setup. And then, of course, we were seeing the Dell's 6-inch lights recessed all around, and the Axis ceiling fan. So, those are the main lights. We have a flare pendant available as well for dining room from Cusco, and we can show you that. Actually, I think it's in our design catalog. And then I just busted into the bathroom here to show you the Cusco Vega over mirror lights. So they're all very complementary, and they suit the design, so that's why we use them. And so we would work through your lighting plan, and put dimmers where you need them, and the whole shot. So just make sure that the house performs the way you want. We can put some ceiling lights in the soffit there. So that's the lighting, and from there, your next step is to move to exteriors. So if we just flip over here, we're going to talk about our exteriors. So essentially, we break the exteriors into 2 parts. You've got your facade type and overhang, and then you've got your finish type. So let's just look here. This is sort of facade option 1 for this house, which is to just kick this out, extrude the roof through, and it's a cool look. And we did it at the front and the back. So there we go, just a little kick out there, and even one. Oh, this is an overhang, so the building actually cantilevers ever so slightly. So that's sort of option 1 for the mount. And another option, actually, I can just go over to the next door neighbor, which is the little guy, the daylight. Here, just give me 1 second. So we go over to the daylight, and we can kind of see option 2, which is a flat roof with a cross-laminated timber facade and on a turnbuckle system. So that's a cool roof. Obviously, roof is not actually flat, and if you read the blog that we've got on our site about flat roofs, you'll learn that no, there's slope. It's just that there's a parapet there that makes it look flat. So this is kind of option number 2. You could do it on this house, but this one really is suited to something like this idea of the the extruded roof. Now, option 3 is what we would see in a unit like the Spring. So just zipping over here, and using cross-laminated timber panels in another way, which would be to create cover and overhangs and things like that. And so this is a cool detail because you get like a very narrow profile compared to the other roof line. Like it's just a 4-inch thick panel, and we'd have our roofing on top and then a nice metal fascia around the front. But that's just a very narrow profile, and it's very nice, but does add a little bit of cost, and that definitely adds some more site work. So we'd have to work through what you want on your design and how you want it to look, but this is quite a easy possibility. So back to the mountain. So we worked through your facade type and how you want this whole thing to look, where you have the cover and all of that. And then what we would do is move on to, the actual materials on the exterior. And so, for example, like right now we're showing here as materials, dark gray corrugated metal, 6-inch tongue and groove fir, and then a matching type of architectural panel. So that'd be like a concrete composite panel, like a Hardy panel or something of that type, depending on what the requirements are. And so this is a nice combination. You get like a 3-tone house. We're offering also a light gray metal like this, and I guess I could take you over, say, to the Holiday where we've done that. So there's your light gray option. And then the only other one was that, you got your 2 metals, your wood, your composite panel, and then we'd look at, another possibility is doing something like this, which is the vertical cedar siding. So, we find too many options, it makes it too hard to decide, but by limiting it to some really cool options, then, you get a great looking house, and it actually comes together. So, we would also work through this on your design, and by this point we've done energy performance, kitchens, baths, closets, millwork, laundry, windows and doors, lighting. We'd obviously be doing your floor coverings, and I mean, you've basically designed your house. As a part of the design process, we would do all your foundation drawings and have our engineering done, and then submit for building. So obviously some of the other questions you might have would be like, how long would it take to build a house like this? And I'm going to say, from start to finish after the building permit would be approved, you're probably looking closer to about a 8-month process, I would figure, just because it's bigger. I mean, this would have the most, or quite a bit of site work to bring it all together, maybe 4 weeks worth of work, and then and just a little bit more production time. So, but still, for a house of this size and of this quality, that's extraordinarily short time frame. So, and we would also have to talk about where it's going and how complicated the site is and all of those things to really understand how long it would take. But that's what I'd be thinking. So yeah, the process would be, pick your floor plan, let's do a design agreement, let's work through all of these details and make this house yours. And then once that's done, we submit it for permit, get your permit drawings done. Once the permit comes in, we can start procurement and manufacturing and build your house. So, if this is something you're interested in, make sure you get in touch with us. And again, my name is James Rosowsky from Built Prefab. You can find out lots of more information on, obviously, YouTube here, where we've got some videos, our website, www.builtprefab.com, or email us at info@builtprefab.com. So I hope you enjoyed the movie, and if you made it this far, thank you. Have a great day.